Hi, my name is Jay Oza. I coach people win with their speeches. And if you ever have to give a high stakes speech, let me know. I want to talk about providing feedback. Now, I have recorded quite a few videos on feedback because I think this is a very important topic, whether it's for public speaking or just about anything. And just recently, I recorded a video on how you need to become good at providing self feedback. What I'm going to talk about in this video is what if somebody asks you for your feedback? How should you handle this? From what I have seen, many people are just not good at providing feedback. Part of the reason is they don't quite understand what a feedback is all about. So let me just give you some scenarios. First of all, when people are asking for a feedback, they're not really asking for you to help them make a major or a drastic change. That's just impossible. It's not going to happen, and your feedback isn't even going to be considered. What they are not looking for is your opinion either. Sometimes we want to help people too much, and we will give them all the things we think that person should do to get better. Let's say public speaking is concerned. Oh, you need to be more forceful, you need to be more expressive, you need to use more gestures. All of these things are probably correct from your point of view, and that is fine. You are entitled to that, but it doesn't help the other person. Here's what I do. When somebody asks me for a feedback, I don't give them any feedback because my feedback isn't important. They don't care. They probably are not even interested. Feedback should cost people something. That's what I believe. Feedback should cost people money. Let me repeat that again. Good feedback should cost people money. Think about it. The feedback you're providing, if it's good, don't just give it away for free. It should cost people money. Okay, so let's get that cleared up. So, if you were to ask me, let's say you give a speech, Jay, can you please provide feedback? I see that you're recording all these videos, you mentor the Coursera course, you're about to release a book. I really value your feedback, okay? Let's suppose somebody did that. Here's what I would do. I would say, I saw your speech. I liked it. Tell me what you think you did well and what you think you need to improve. And the person would go and give me the list. 3 things. And 1 thing you think you could improve. You know what I would do? I would just regurgitate the same thing the person said back. Because if I add another component to it, it's not gonna help the person. It's not even gonna be considered. Think about how many times you've given people feedback that they ever did anything. Feedback is not instant. It's incremental. It takes a long time to make a change. And most people don't like making changes. That's what I see, and that's what you probably see too. In anything. But this is costing that person nothing. So why should you expend more time and resource and energy to provide that feedback? Find out what the person says he or she did well, and then just give it back to them. Okay, but what if person was paying me and happens to be like I said, I coach people win with their speeches. Let's say if somebody hired me as a coach, how would I give the feedback? Not that much different. Again, just because you're a coach doesn't mean you can just tell the other person what to do, even though you might be right, but you have to look at it from the person's point of view. How much is realistic? How much improvement can that person make? And you might want that person to become a great speaker, but first, they just need to be able to give one speech confidently and get the message across clearly and in an impactful manner. That's a tall order. So again, I use this principle that I call the hedge ox, commonly known as the 60-30-10 principle. So I would ask you, let's say you're my client, what did you like about your speech that you think you did well? Okay, and give it to me in a 60-30-10 principle. You could pick, I used gestures well, I was very clear, I used good transition, for example, okay? I would pick two of those and put it in the 60-30 as two of the points the person made. So I would say, you're absolutely right. Your gestures were very good. It made your speech very, very engaging. So that would be my 60%. The 30% would be, I agree that you were also very good with your transitions. I could follow it from the beginning till the end, the way you did your transitions. So I've now taken care of 90%, okay? The 10% is the part that the person could realistically improve. Again, we're looking for incremental improvement. I would say, one thing you may want to focus on when you start your speech, start with the end in mind. What is your ask? So the audience clearly knows what is the ask that you want. What is the thing that you want them to do? What is the key takeaway? So kind of start with the end in mind. Bring it right up in the beginning so they know exactly, rather than exactly what you want, rather than saying it at the end. Now that's a minor thing, right? Maybe not that minor. Maybe it's major. But that certainly becomes the 10%. Now, that thing, the way I have structured it, saying, look, the 60% is this, the 30% it is, the 10% is this, the person is more likely to view that more favorably. Because I didn't put three things that the person didn't say. Because if the person gave me three things and I give him three things completely different, that's too much. The person's going to say, wait a second, I thought I did these things well, and you're telling me I did these things well, so what happened to what I'm thinking? And it confuses the person. Typically, you should be your best judge when it comes to speaking. And most people are. I've done a lot of reviews. People generally get it. They tend to be more critical of their speeches. Especially when you're learning, you tend to be critical. Because if you're overconfident, then you wouldn't ask somebody's feedback at all. Right? That's how I look at it. So when people ask you feedback, you already know that they are looking for an improvement. They want feedback. They could be incompetent confident in a sense that they reached a point where they want feedback to know whether their confidence is misplaced or not, okay? And that's what I do. I look for a 10% improvement, not more than that. And if you can get 10% improvement, then you have done a good job. But again, the point that I want to make here is that feedback is not that easy. And you should never, again I use the word never, give people free feedback. Free feedback is useless. Nobody considers it, it's almost like opinion couched as feedback is useless. If you really want to give people feedback, if a person is really interested in feedback, it should cost them something. Otherwise, they're not going to take it seriously. And when it costs them something, you should aim for 10% improvement. Until they get that 10% improvement, there's no point in giving them more. which isn't going to be realistic for them to execute anyway. Well, that's how I feel. Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.